Hi, this is Dave from Untitled Woodworking, and today I'm going to show you how to make a wedge, and I'm also going to be covering the holdfast portion of it, and also the tail vise little section which was used in my last video. So I'm just going to go over two of them, and then I'm going to show you how I've built it. So when you're actually making the wedge, I found out today that obviously the longer you make them, the more leverage or the more tension that's going to be put on the pegs, and because of this I've actually snapped two pegs today. So this peg is one of the originals what I've had for however many years, you know, so that one would be understandable, but this is kind of brand new. This is the one I made in the last video, so that tells us that obviously the longer it is, which makes sense, there's going to be a lot of leverage. So what I would recommend is making the peg somewhere along the lines of this one, the length of this one, which is at 160, so this is 160 millimeters. So you might actually get away with a little bit more than that, maybe 170 maybe. I typically wouldn't go any more than that. As I said, I've snapped two pegs today just messing around with this, so that would definitely be something you would want to do if you intend on using it as a holdfast. It is quite good to have them this long for other wedging operations. So, you know, this is 230 millimeters. So I would say have both sizes, and obviously you want to have different thicknesses. So something else to bear in mind if you are going to use this as a holdfast, you're not going to get away with something like this. Now, when I made this was a pure mistake, but it's been a silver lining, if you like. But basically, if you haven't got enough meat here, it won't grab. And for those of you that are interested, this is approximately 75 degrees when I drilled it, which you'll see in the video. So for the tail vise, which I showed in the last video, or the tail vise clamp like, it's the same process how to make them. So for anyone that didn't see it, so basically you've got to put it up against a peg or a dog, and you would push this down, and it pushes against it. So this actually works quite well when you get it lined up properly, but it's the same sort of process. This was a complete utter mistake. You do have to still drill this at an angle. Obviously this is pointing down. I think this isn't quite severe as 75 degrees, but if you turn the wedge up this way, it doesn't clamp as well. It actually pushes a piece up when you're in a clamping position. It's not actually doing it here because I'm too. This will actually happen. So it wants to push it up. So it does have to be around this way, and you do have to drill the angle, which I'll demonstrate in the video. I think that's probably it. So here's how I made it.
So here I'm just marking out for the 6 degrees. I'm just using my speed square, and basically I just draw a line on the bench. I get my sliding bevel, and I set the sliding bevel up to the angle what I've already made. Then I just mark things out. Obviously I can't get the full line across. I have got to use a ruler, which you can see is doing here. and that's pretty much my line, and I'm ready to sew. As you can see, I am actually using a holdfast. If you have got a metal holdfast, I would recommend to use it. Really good. Other than that, you know, you could use you know, some clamps what you've got lying around, etc. Next, just a little clean up with the plane. I'm just using a dog here. It can be a little bit tricky. They do move around a little bit just with the nature of it, but you know, persevere and you will get it done. I did actually think this wedge was a bit too long, so I decided to cut it. Once I'd cut it, I just chamfered all the edges, and this is just to take all the sharp edges off. And also it helps you know, to prevent splitting and whatever else while you're hammering this with your mallet, etc. As I stated earlier in the video, I drilled this at approximately 75 degrees. I mean, anywhere from 80 to 75 degrees, you know, that's going to be quite good. I just finished up with a chamfer with the holes. And again, I thought this was a bit too long, and I cut it yet again. Ironically, as I found out and as I stated at the start of the video, the longer they are, a lot of tension gets put on the pegs, so you know, you might need to experiment with this, but the end product is, as you see, you know, it does work quite well. So you know, you've got a wedge to wedge material, but you've also got a makeshift holdfast as well. That's it for this one, guys. So thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to give us a like.